thought of you. I imitate you. That was the first poem of Lee's I ever read. Lee gave it to me when I first met him. That was well over 40 years ago. And he gave it to me when he invited me for dinner at his tiny flat. And I thought, oh, okay, well, let's go for dinner. I didn't realize we would stop at a Chinese takeaway and bring the takeaway back to his place and eat it out of the foil containers. And I thought, this is dinner? And that's when he gave me a copy of his poems. And that's when I read, As Your Eyes Are Blue, You Move Me. And that's when the full realization that this person, Lee, is, was, now a love poet. Driven and determined by compassion and passion, passionate about the people he connected with, passionate about the landscape. And as a newcomer, an incomer, he introduced me to that passion of the landscape as well. And he also introduced me to the notion of the impossibility of certainty about anything except the impossibility of it. Gentle, generous, reserved, almost shy. If Lee were here now, he'd leave. He actually wouldn't take part in this thing, or else he would be at the back, tucked away. Oh my goodness, they're not talking about me, are they? Oh dear. So Lee, we've got you, okay? You're here now and you have to listen to everything we say. He was my first friend in Brighton. The day I met him, leaving aside the wonderful Chinese festival, he was in a really bad mood. Now, it was really hard to tell over the years when Lee was in a bad mood because he gave away so very little. He shared much, but he never gave away a kind of deeper sense of emotion. It turns out he was in a blue funk because it was his birthday. And he was really pissed off that it was his birthday because he thought he was getting too old. He was getting too old to do all of the joys which he indulged in. Walking the landscape, absorbing everything that mattered from the landscape, whether it was in the world of art or the world of books or the world of the natural world, mixing with women and others, and creating poetry. He felt he was getting too old for that. By the way, I think it was his 30th birthday. Okay? So if you're here now, Lee, remember my advice. I said to him, look, Lee, forget that it's your birthday. Just treat it as a warm-up. Just treat it as a dry run, because all the best are still to come. And that's what happened. All those volumes of poetry, all those connections with all of us here and the events and the situations.